Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vinland Saga Season 2 episode number 2 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, it was the beginning of Season 2 and it started in a very good way. First of all, I have to say that, good job the animation and the visuals. It looked breathtaking. The first episode, not only that, the whole storytelling and everything is as good as I remember, and obviously we get to see a little bit of a backstory of Einar. I think that was his name, the guy who we saw in the final episode of Vinland Saga season 1. And we see his story, how he was he had a family, but he lost his family and he got sold by slave traders. And now, after little by little, he starts losing faith, and he decides to just keep low, just just do whatever the master who is going to buy him tell him what to do. Whatever he tells him to do, he's just going to do it. Live a easy, very very quiet life. That's what he thought, like, in the end. But obviously, at the end of the episode, we get to see that Thorfinn is also there. Oh, Leif was also looking for Thorfinn, and Thorfinn is also there under the same person who bought Einar. And yeah, that's where it ended. So here's the thing. Obviously, Einar is the type of person who had freedom. Obviously, he lost his freedom and he decided to just stop, trying to grab that freedom again. He decided to just be just not protest and just do what he's told. He's become shackled. However, Thorfinn was shackled from the beginning because of the whole Arcelard situation, because of the revenge thing. And he was shackled by his own revenge, his own hatred. But after Arcelard's death, he has broken free of that shackle. So now I feel like Thorfinn's mental thing is more free. So I'm really curious as to what's going to happen when Einar, who's mentally shackled, meets Thorfinn, who is mentally unshackled or in the process of being unshackled. So this should be a very interesting way, which way this will progress. I'm very curious as to see what happens. Either way, let us get started. Episode number 2. And before we begin, I won't be showing the upper portion of the video. My channel got striked, so I'm not taking any more risks. From this point onwards, maybe in the future, when the strike will go away, I'll bring that back again. But for now, no upper portion of the video, only the subtitles will be shown and the timer. So everyone, be sure to play the original video alongside my reaction, sync it to the timer, and I'll also timestamp the video so it actually helps you out to sync it properly. Either way, let us get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Oh my god, this song is so good. I've heard it so many times, both the opening and the ending. Okay. You two are friends. Kettle's farm. It's like, damn, this guy's big. Now that I'm looking at him again. Compared to Thorfinn. Hmm. Farmland? Forest? Yeah. Ooh. Ah, oh, is that why they're chopping the wood? To make. Oh, leave everything to you? Wait, what? Oh my god, this is quite generous. I never thought. What? Okay, so he's basically telling them that work properly. If you're able to do it, then you'll be free. Yeah, that's like. Okay, this is a very interesting way he's doing this because they're going to work hard and obviously he's going to reap the benefits, but at the same time, they're working because if they're able to properly do it, they'll be free. Like win win situation. Ah, wow, that's very interesting. I did not expect. And obviously, they'll be working on their own will now. They'll be motivated. Like, obviously, Thorfinn doesn't look motivated, but he at least will if he wants to be free. Yeah, he's a different type of a person. Yeah, this is not normal. Like, he's a little different, you can see. Mm. Oh boy. Oh, he answered. He's like, wait, what? He doesn't even know. Okay. Well, obviously, this is a long time ago. Ooh. Hmm. Everything on this side from the river. Oh boy. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Well, better get started. Damn. I wonder how many trees can you cut down in one day? Maybe five? I don't know. He's a strong. Oh, never mind. I was going to say he's a strong guy. He probably could. He doesn't have the technique, you know? Yeah, you better do that. The, it's going to fall. Yeah, exactly. That's why he said, look at Thorfinn and learn first. Oh, he's hungry. Yeah, when? Oh. Yeah, everything seems too nice. I don't know. Is it? Who are these guys? Random people? Oh, they're also working. Okay. Oh my god. So are they also slaves? Damn. They ate everything. Yeah, boy. There we go. Yeah, these are also slaves. Okay. No, they're free. Wait, then are they workers here? Not slaves, I'm guessing. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, calm down. There's a lot of them. Heh. Well, so I'm guessing these were they are also slaves. Maybe they became free after I don't know. Well, or are they like normal workers? Well, he has a past, a very interesting past. So yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Miserable horse. No, the horse is like, nah, man. Okay, I worked too hard. Oh my god. Yeah, push. Oh no. It's getting stuck. Damn. Oh. All right. Pull. Damn. One log and this amount of. Wait, how did Thorfinn do this before? He was alone, wasn't he? Now Einar is here. So he used to do this alone. Oh my god. Hmm. Yeah. So there you go. They're also workers, kind of. But they're not slaves. Halfway to being slaves. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's lost all. Oh boy, his. Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, fantastic. Had no lunch and. Oh no. But they're workers. They like he cannot do anything. What? Um. Oh yeah, we've seen this girl in the opening. He just like wait a minute. Ah! He won't tell. Oh boy. Wait, who's this? His daughter? His daughter? Yeah, it must be. Well, he changed his mind. Oh no. Okay. He's also working. Nice. He looks like a very nice guy, you know. I was not expecting him to be this nice. I expected him to be kind of nice, not this nice. Okay, now that today they're harvesting the. I was just saying that. Hmm. Ulmer. He has a sword in his back? What the hell? You're farming here. Why do you have a sword? Hmm. Ah. This guy is 17. He looks way older. Oh. Hmm. Oh my god, what the hell? Who is that? Is he like Master Son? There you go. Hmm. That's why he's not happy about this. Hmm. Oh boy, here we go. Come on, dude. You're embarrassing yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Oh my god. Yo, you're gonna hurt yourself. That's a sword. Yeah, I wanted to do that. Exactly. Oh boy. Great. Great. Wait, what the? Wait. Wait, is that his wife or something? Oh no, that's someone else. Oh, sorry, never mind. I thought it's that girl. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, you'll be going out there fighting for your life, you know? Like, that's. Hey, yo. Great. Oh my god. Hey, yo. Calm down. Great. Oh my god. Can you do this somewhere else? He's like, no, I'm going to fight. No. Great. Ketil, that's like his. Oh my god. Well, oh boy. Uh, hmm. Yeah, and don't fall. Dude. Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh boy, he's gonna get pissed at this. Yeah. Yo, no! What are you? Oh boy, here we go. Hmm. The wheat and everything, like that. Got trampled upon. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. The first time the dad helped them out, I guess. Protected them. Oh, yeah, there you go. Hmm. Yeah, he's getting reminded of his past as well. Because the same thing happened to him as well. For Thorfinn, it has been both things. He's been in both sides. He's been the victim, and also he's been the person who did it. Like when he was in Ashalat's group, he also used to do it alongside. Obviously, he did not want to do it, but his revenge and everything shackled him down. So he kept going and going, working as Ashalat plundered places, and he was in both sides. He was a victim, and at the same time, he was also someone who did it to others as well. So he can understand very well what Einar is telling him. That's it. All right, there you go. This episode. Okay, so this episode, it was we get properly introduced to. I was going to say we, no, not we, but Einar gets properly introduced to Thorfinn, and yeah, from there on, we get to see the whole thing. All right, let's talk about this. First of all, Einar and Thorfinn gets introduced, and I was so surprised. This guy, their master, I forgot his name. His whole what can I say? The thing that he said is very interesting. So here's what's going to happen. First of all, he gets introduced, and then he's like, "All right, you guys, you see this thing in front of you, this forest." He's like, "This is a future wheat farm." And what he says is that I own this woods, okay? I'm going to let the two of you borrow them. It's like, borrow? Yeah, I leave everything up to you. You clear this land, work it, and reap the harvest. I'll buy it from you for a fair price. Once that amount exceeds your price, you'll buy yourselves back. And I'm guessing if after that they still want to work for him, they're free to do so. Obviously, they'll be paid like a minimum amount of like a wage they'll be paid, and they'll properly become like actual workers who have their own life in their hand, and who has the freedom to do anything that they want. They can continue working here, or they might leave. I'm guessing that's the whole thing. Obviously, Einar is like, wait, so we can buy ourselves. In other words, we'll be free. Now, I'm okay. So he says like, yes, that's right. Earn your freedom yourselves the right way. Okay, so I was so surprised seeing him tell something like that. Like in the previous episode, I just said that, okay, this guy looks reasonable enough. He looks like a nice guy. But then here he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll leave this place to you guys if you're able to properly do it, properly harvest the the whatever you sow here after cutting down the trees, and if it fetches a high price, yeah, you'll be able to free yourself with that. And I'm like, okay, this seems very, very what can I say? Like very nice, like a very good proposal. Now, wait a minute, did he like give any time limit or something? Just a second. This is a future wheat farm. Okay, I'm going to let the two of you borrow them. Okay, no, he just says that I'll let you to borrow this place. Clear it, work with it, and reap the harvest. I'll buy it back from you. Okay, so I was thinking, is there like a time limit? Like, he said like, oh, do this within 1 year or 2 year. No, he didn't give any time limit. So basically, you're free to do anything, so this seems like a very good proposal. Like, first of all, they are given the freedom to do however they like it, whenever they like it. And like, I feel like this is a proposal where both team wins. For example, obviously, since they are given the whole freedom to do it, and they're being told that, all right, if you're able to do anything good with this place, you can, if you're able to make a profit out of this place, then you can buy yourself buy yourself with that money. So this gives them a motivation to continue working hard. Not only that, it's going to save this guy a lot of time. He won't have to keep coming and keep what's that called, keep supervising them. He won't need to do that, because these guys will be automatically motivated to work hard so that they can free themselves. So there's no need for any supervision. He doesn't need to spend time or spend manpower keeping guards or keeping an eye on these two, because usually for slaves, what the situation is usually that there's 1 or 2 guards. They always keep an eye on them. They always just keep telling them like, oh, work harder, what are you doing? And obviously they punish them as well. Not only that, they always keep an eye on them so that they don't run away. These things won't be a problem at all, because Einar will now be like, all right, I need to work hard so that I can, and that's exactly what he was doing, so that I can get out of this place as quickly, by myself as quick as I can. So it's going to keep them motivated. It's not going to and obviously this thing will keep them anchored here, and they'll try their best. So both sides are winning. He's winning because he doesn't need to do much to keep an eye on them. No manpower spending, no time spending on them. Not only that, whatever harvest that they'll get here, he knows that it'll be a good thing. They won't skip their work, or they won't try to cut any corners, because they themselves want this thing to fetch a high price so that they're able to buy themselves back. So he knows that everything that these guys will do will be good, because they themselves are motivated. So that, and also what can I say, I don't see any kind of downside in this whole thing. Like, they're going to work hard. Obviously he's going to reap the harvest, but they will be able to buy back their freedom with that. So both sides are winning, I guess. And yeah, and that's it. And since he has not given them any time limit, obviously they can also, there won't be any rush. They won't be like, oh, I need to do this as soon as possible. They can properly do it little by little, taking their time. and like the thing is that they need to bring results by the end of it. That's all. So okay, I'm impressed by the proposal that he gave them here. So anyways, he kind of shows him that other guy, and he's like, oh, this guy, like this what did he say? Wait a minute. Patter. Just a minute. Patter. Pater. Okay. Wait a minute. Isn't pater like a way of calling your father? Just a minute. Pater. Pater and father. Yeah, there you go. Pater, and I think for mom it's mater, isn't it? Yeah, mother. Mater is mother and pater is father. Okay. So he's like, yeah, this guy will help you out if you have any questions, and he's also one of the slaves, and he also freed himself with this. Now he's a free man. And he's like, okay, Thorfinn, you be good with Einar and introduce yourselves, and yeah, goodbye, best of luck. And he leaves. Obviously, Einar is surprised. He's like, what the hell? Like, I never expected anything like this. And he's like, our master is a little bit different, isn't he? And obviously, Thorfinn is not really answering. He keeps trying to strike a conversation with Thorfinn, and he says that, oh, I'm from like North England. Where are you from? Thorfinn introduces himself, says that he's from Iceland, and he's like, oh, Iceland. And then he's like, wait a minute, where is Iceland? He doesn't know. It can make sense, obviously, it's a long time ago. So he then asks like, oh, which part of the which are the trees and which part of the forest do we have to clear up? And Thorfinn tells us, oh, this whole section, and he realizes that almost nothing has been done, and only a small little portion has been cleared up. So they'll need a long time to do it. Not a long time, I guess, if you I don't know, like I was trying to make the calculation, like how many trees can you cut down in a day? Now that they have two of them, like I'm pretty sure they can do a lot more better job. Their speed will be increased 2 times. So maybe like at least 10 trees in a day. I'm not sure. So that means like if you're able to work like for a month, you can like at least cut down 300 trees. So it's going to take a while to cut down all the trees, I'm not exactly sure how much time it'll take. Probably like a year or something. Maybe more than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is going to take a time. And so not only cutting the tree, they also need to then harvest, like like sow, I guess wheat, I'm guessing, sow wheat and harvest it. And for that they'll need another year. Obviously, if you sow the seeds, it'll take a while for it to grow and everything, and to keep an eye on it and all. So I'm guessing for them to able to come free themselves from this place, from being a slave, they'll at least need like 3 to 4 years. I think that's like a rough calculation. I think at least 3 years, I think. But either way, Einar is like, all right, let's get started. And he is trying to cut the tree. Obviously Thorfinn sees him, and he sees that he's getting kind of not able to cut properly, because you need a proper technique. And he's striking the tree, and the axe is getting stuck in the tree. So Thorfinn is like I remember, he told you to observe me for today, but he's like, no, I need to be out of this place as soon as possible. I need to buy myself as soon as possible. So I'm trying my best from the get-go. And Thorfinn's like, all right, so don't do it here, do it somewhere else, because the tree is going to fall on top of him. And he tells him that do it like this, so that the tree falls on the side of the river, so that we can push it and push it into the water, so that the water takes it along. And yeah, and Einar is like, oh yeah, that's true, because obviously if the log falls somewhere else away from the river, they need to put extra effort into kind of dragging it to the river. So if they do it in a way where it falls towards the river, a lot of energy will be conserved. So they're doing their work, and Einar is hungry, and it's like, oh, when's lunch going to come? And yeah, he'll suddenly hear from a distance. Now these few guys come in who are like laughing and talking, and they're like they're eating like their food. And yeah, Einar comes in front of them and he gives him the food, which is just like a remaining 1 or 2 pieces of bread. Now now here's the thing, these guys are workers, actual workers, and they're not slaves though, so obviously they will definitely try to bully the other slaves, because human personality, they'll always try to find someone weaker than them and try to bully them, because that's basically humans, most of the humans, like so yeah, to to vent their own frustrations, they're definitely going to do that. So Einar and Thorfinn, obviously the master is a very nice person, but these guys are, yeah, they are troublesome people. So just, yeah, the problem is from a different side it is going to come. And this reminds me of like typical school bullying, where like where there's like your seniors, they try to bully you sometimes in colleges, and they make you go through a lot of tough things, and they act as if they own the place, that type of thing. Obviously the teachers don't get themselves involved in them, and if you tell the teachers, the teacher might try to mediate between you guys, but it's just going to make the situation more worse. Exactly the same situation here, that in the teacher's position is the master. Obviously if Einar tells something to the master will probably be like, okay, I'll talk to them, and then the master will talk to these guys and be like, oh, what are you doing, why are you like this, don't do it from the next time onwards. And that's it. Obviously these guys are they're going to increase the bullying after that, so it won't work. So that's what was going on, and that's what Thorfinn tells him later on. No need to tell the master, because it's just going to worsen the situation. Either way, these guys are gives him the bread, and he's like, what the hell, this is like not enough food. And he's like, oh, you have a problem, and then he's like, oh, is this your first time being a slave? And he starts yammering about like some random stuff. He's like, oh, you should thank us for giving you this food. And he gets pissed off. He probably was going to punch them or something, I don't know what he's going to do. But obviously Thorfinn just comes in and he's like, oh, thank you for the food, we'll take it from here. And this part, I love how Thorfinn just so casually comes in and he's like, thank you for the food, we'll take it. Just looks at him like this, and the guy, he's like this, looking at Thorfinn, and he's like, okay, yeah. I love the face that Thorfinn makes. Is this the same Thorfinn that we knew? That Thorfinn who screamed at the top of the lungs, screaming that I'm going to kill you, Ashalad. You are the I'm going to take my revenge. And he just used to is this the same Thorfinn? Nah. Oh boy, he went through so much, like I feel bad for laughing, but oh boy, he went through so much, from such a young age. The first was the whole revenge thing, and then obviously losing the target, Ashalad himself. Now he's just like an empty person. He's like, yeah, I don't care. And just like everything has just been gone, like all the rage, all the anger, someone sucked it up, and it's not there anymore. It's just empty. He is completely. And I feel like Einar has taken Thorfinn's role a little bit now. He's this angry young man, like hot-blooded angry young man. Obviously he's not as like angry as Thorfinn, like when Thorfinn was. He's a lot more calm more than that, but he does have his hot blood, and he's like, oh, I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to protest against this. Why they're also the workers, so why are they doing this? I'm going to complain to the master. Like he has this hot blooded this thing, this this what's it called, this rage inside of him. Not rage, but justified rage within him, obviously. So yeah, while Thorfinn is just given up. Now here's the thing, we can see like this is an indication any person who has rage within them, and who has always getting angry, as hot blooded, you can say that they have not given up on their life or given up on living. However, people who are extremely nonchalant, is just completely stoic, blank, and doesn't really care as to what's going on, like Thorfinn here. The situation with them is that most of the times they're people who has actually given up on their life. That's the thing. Einar being this rageful, and him being like, oh, why is he doing that? Why is he what he's doing is wrong. I'm going to complain. This thing shows that he still hasn't given up on his life. He still has the thing, where he's going to keep striving. While Thorfinn being this completely just, I don't know, just emotionless, just completely oh, thank you so much. Okay, no need to do that. He's just going to worsen the situation. This way he's talking and everything. I don't know, I feel like there's a part of him that has actually given up on life or something. So yeah, anyways, or maybe he just became mature, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to wait and watch him for a few more episodes to realize what's going on. Is he actually become completely calm, and just his whole rage has gone because he's become mature? Is that why he's like this, or is it because he has given up on life? We'll have to watch him for a few more episodes to actually realize what's going on through his head. Now we cannot tell what's going on. Either way, Einar is what the hell, these guys are also workers, so why are they doing stuff like this? And he says they are also kind of halfway slaves. They don't have their own place. They're working for them. So why are they trying to boss us around? And yeah, Einar is so I'm gonna complain, but Thorfinn is no need to do that, just push the log for now, and help me out. And okay, now Einar says that wait, wasn't this their work? They're napping, and they're just pushing everything towards us. And he also says the horse won't be able to drag it as well. So he's why are we doing this? So Thorfinn's these trees belong to our master. We can't cut them shorter without when he was saying we can cut it short, he's we cannot cut it short without his permission. And yeah, he says isn't it their job? Normally you wouldn't let a slave use a horse, and this miserable horse alone was. I feel bad for the horse, because the horse is just he's oh my god, I don't want to move. Anyways, they're dragging it away, and kind of get stuck in one of the little things, and then Einar kind of grabs it and lifts it up a little bit, and yeah, they then are able to properly transfer it to the river, I guess. Okay, now Thorfinn and Einar has worked for a long time. It's kind of evening by that time that they're returning, and they're hungry, they cannot do anything, energy is gone, and Einar is pissed. Yeah, obviously, he's hungry, he's been working for so long, and he says they won't get away with this. They ate my lunch. Oh boy. And here we go, he says retainers don't have their own farms, so they have to serve a master, right? So there you go, they're basically servants, kind of, I guess. And he then says then they're halfway to being slaves themselves. Not necessarily, they do have their own life in their hands, they can easily leave this place. But I guess I can see what Einar is trying to say. And he's no, we're going to complain to the master. And Thorfinn says just leave it, it's not going to improve. Master might talk to them, obviously. He might try to stop this, but they'll just worsen this. It won't work. Like I said, it's typical bullying situation. You tell the teacher tries to help, it makes the situation even worse, and the bullies bully you even more. That's the situation here. So there's no really I don't know, this is the thing. In these type of situations, there's no correct answer, I guess. I feel like you can try to do this on your own, But I don't know. I feel like working on your own in these type of situations, standing up for yourselves is a better option here. But at the same time, I don't know. Anyways, let's see what happens. So Einar says that we are our master's property. His retainers can't push us around. And yeah, like you can see that he's like, yeah, he's completely like, yeah, we're our master's property. They cannot do this to us. We're going to tell the masters. Oh boy. Okay, anyways, Einar gets pissed off and grabs Thorfinn, and he's like, what are you saying? Like, like, are you going to just let them continue like this, just going along with this? And as he's saying this, the master comes in from the back, and he's like, oh, how are you guys doing? Like, is everything okay? And he says at the beginning, he's like, oh, I have actually something to report. And he's like, goes to him. He says, today those returners of yours, looks at the back of the carriage, and then there's this girl. Now, we've seen her in the opening, so I'm guessing she's important to the story. I'm not really sure. But, okay, so he looks at her, obviously, gets completely smitten. He just doesn't really say anything. He's like, oh, we're saying something, the master says, and he's like, no, nothing. No, nothing. And, the carriage leaves. And, yeah, he looks at the girl, keeps looking at her. And she also kind of looks back a little bit. And, okay, so I do wonder who she is. Like, she doesn't seem like his wife. She seems too young for that. His daughter, I guess? I'm not sure. I think maybe his daughter. It must be. Either way, I love the animation. Yeah. If you go to this still frame after that when that girl leaves, you'll see them just standing there. They don't have any eyes. They don't have anything. Just standing. This still frame is hilarious. I just love how they're just standing there without any eyes. Just oh boy. And I love how Thorfinn is like, Einar, when you going to report them? And oh boy, I feel like Thorfinn deliberately said that. He's like, didn't you when you going to report? What happened? Oh boy. And he's like, oh no, okay, it's fine. Like, no. Obviously, if he makes like a whole scene over here, his reputation in front of the girl will drop. So he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Everything's fine. Oh boy. Alright, next scene, next day. We see everyone is harvesting their crops, the wheats. So we see this guy, their master is very loved by all the people here. Everyone loves him. It's like some little kids there as well. They're like bringing him water. The people are harvesting the wheat, and everyone's just helping, and everyone's just smiling and helping, which kind of shows that he's probably a very nice person. He has the trust of so many people around him, and both Einar and Thorfinn lucked out, because we've seen what happens to slaves, in this story in itself. We've seen in Vinland Saga what happens to slaves. They get treated brutally, obviously, so them being under someone like him, who is not only giving them an opportunity to work on their own freedom, but he's also giving them an opportunity to buy themselves away, and giving them proper food, even though those guys are taking their food for him. But still, proper food, proper shelter, proper living conditions. Yeah, they really lucked out. It's very impressive. This guy really is a nice person. And not only that, what I said here, that even the master is pitching in. He's also in the field working, and this kind of makes me think that this guy must also be someone who was who was not a rich person from the get-go. He must have been working his way up, from a very low, like a position. He must be working his way up, up and up. That is why even after now that he's so rich, he's still in the fields working with everyone else, because this is the type of mentality everyone who has worked their ways, hard work, using hard work, will work their ways from a very low position to a high position are. That's this is the personality they have. They also get down and dirty and do the job with everyone else. If he had money from the get-go, if he was like one of those typical rich persons, he wouldn't be here working. Like, this is just what I think, like him being in the fields with everyone else working kind of makes me think that he must have been a worker, a hard worker. Maybe he was also like a, I don't know, like a very poor person who had to work his way hard, work hard all the way. And now he's just, he's rich finally. And he has a good family, everyone loves him. That's the situation. And this is, like I said, you can see the difference. His son, however, you could see, he's like, oh, I don't want to work. I'm going to become like a swordsman or whatever he's saying. He's a rich boy. He's born into money. That is why he had this type of personality. While his dad, who's obviously who's in the fields, he definitely he wasn't born into money. I doubt that. He must have worked hard throughout his life, and now he is here finally. And his son is now like this, obviously. Nothing you can do about it. The way you grow up, it kind of defines the person who you are. And he must have been born, been born in a very pampered way, and that is why now he's just completely like this, stubborn and everything. Anyways, okay, after that, yeah, we meet the guy, like that guy. Before that, Einar kind of says like the Danish and the England, all of them, while working together here at the same place, they look the same. Now, one thing we should realize here, wait a minute, that's what he says, doesn't he? Just a minute. Yeah, both the Danish and the England, both the Danish and the English we all look the same when working together. Yeah. So one thing we should remember is, which we get to listen to again later on, that his family was attacked by both these people, both the Danish and both the English. So that's why he's like looking at them now, and he's like, yeah, while working together, we all look the same. So anyways, now next we get to see this guy. Okay, what's his name? Olmar, is that his name? Yeah, Olmar, I need to remember. Olmar is the name of the of his son, and the dad is like, oh, what the hell are you doing, Olmar? Don't chop the whole thing up, you need to keep the stock so that the cattle, when they graze, they can eat that. And he's like, I showed you how to do this, and and he's like, yeah, I don't care, just with that, what's that called, that wheat thing in their mouth. I love how he kind of does his ear, and then there's a whew, both the wheat thing falls off, and I don't know why, but that I found that funny. And here he says obviously you'll be the master of this place later on, so why aren't you listening to me? And he's like, oh, I don't want to become a helper in this farm. It's like, oh, I thought I'd help out for a change, but you don't stop complaining about this stupid crap. And he's like, I'm not becoming like a farmhand helper. I'm going to leave. I'm going to become a swordsman or whatever he says. And he's like, I'm going to go to some place where I don't have to help anyone out. And his dad is like, you will be the person who will take over this farm. You need to accept that. And he's like, when did I say I wanted to take over this place? And he says a grown man shouldn't be doing this dull, boring, tedious farm work. My God. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to become a swordsman. Takes out the sword, and he's like, wait a minute. What the? It's getting stuck. I'm unable to take it out. You know what? I've seen so many people having their sword in the back, like taking it out like this. I feel like that only works in anime. Like, how is that convenient? You know, in the back, do people do that? You obviously, the sheet should be here, in this place where you can take it out like this or like this, here. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen obviously in so many animes we've seen characters take out the sword from here, the back sheath or whatever you call it. I feel like that's so inconvenient. Usually, if the sheath is here, it's so much better to take it out. Like, I don't know. I'm like, who am I to talk? I don't know. I don't use swords, so maybe maybe I don't know about this. Anyways, so he's not able to take it out, and I'm like, dude, you're wearing like a half-sleeved shirt, and not only that, you're trying to take out your sword. You might graze your skin with that, and then once it gets grazed, you're going to start bleeding because swords are sharp. And he just tries to open it for a long amount of time, cannot do it, gets embarrassed, puts it in, and he's like, I'm gonna make my name with the sword. Just leaves. And he, later on we see at the night, he's like, I'm going to England soon, I'll make sure of it. And he's like using his sword to kind of practice. I'm not spending my whole life in the middle of nowhere. And then we see this girl over there. Now, here, for a moment, I was so confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this that girl? And then I realized, no, it's not that girl. The girl we saw, in the beginning part, who Einar really got smitten with. At first I thought it was her. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's not her. Never mind. It's someone else. Okay, so his goal is to, he's like, I'm going to join Prince Canute's army and achieve greatness. I wonder how he'll react if he someday gets to know that Thorfinn was Canute's first friend or whatever. That'll be funny if someday he gets to know that. Oh boy. Okay, now this girl, she says that, oh no, first he tries to cut that moth. And it doesn't cut. Oh boy, I'm like, and isn't that dangerous? You're doing this inside a hut, and there's someone else with you. Oh my god. Okay, so that girl says oh, when is it? And she says that. Oh, he says King Harald should be calling for reinforcements soon. That is when. And the girl says, I think he should take over the farm. Obviously, he gets angry. He's like, well, why? What do you know? And she says, I'm not saying because of that, because I'm saying that because I want you to stay here and, not put yourself in danger. And yeah, and I love how the dad and the mom, that girls, the dad is like, oh, yes, good going, my girl, what does she say? He said that. Okay, just a minute. Okay, he says that with this, our family's future will be secure. Oh my god. And he's like, yes, finally, our future is set. And they were screaming so much outside. I'm pretty sure he heard it. Olmar, he comes out and he's like, oh, you guys are just here for my money, for my dad's money. You're not seeing me for who I am. One of those guys, who just wants recognition. This is what can I say? This is the thing with these type of characters. They always have this complex about their family or their dad, whoever is the one who's the rich person, and they always think that people are always looking at him by looking at the dad. They're not seeing him as an individual, but seeing him as the son of that person or the daughter of that person, that type of thing. like they're being overshadowed by their parents or their brother or their sister, something like that, you know. This is the kind of the whole thing with these type of characters. They always have like a inferiority complex within them, and he's one of those characters, obviously. And he, like, can't blame him, you know, because I'm pretty sure from when these characters were children, they've always been hearing everyone to, like, you know, try to, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, be extra respectful to him and everything. And as he little by little gained more understanding of the situation, he realized, like, wait a minute, these guys are not respectful towards me. They're respectful towards me because they're looking at me as my dad's son. That is why they're respectful to me. I'm not earning their respect. They're respecting me because I'm my dad's son, or, you know, like that type of situation. So that is how they have been growing up from their childhood. And, like, you know, that's how he has always seen people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably just comes to him just because of his dad, you know, try to be extra respectful towards him, you know, like with this, just, like, you know, just rubbing their palms. They're like, oh, like, in a young master, you know, like, how are you, do you need something, young master? That type of, like, you know, people who are just trying to be at his good graces because he's his dad's son. That is why they don't look at him as an individual, but they just look at him as their dad's son. So I can understand, you know, like, if someone grows up like that each and every day, seeing people being respectful to him just because of his dad, and him not having any individual personality, always being overshadowed by his dad or his parents, I can understand how he'll be so spiteful, you know, here. And obviously these two, like, you know, these two, like, you know, like the mother and the dad, these two guys, they were outside the hut talking about how their future is secure. And I'm pretty sure he heard them, and he came out and he's like, you guys are just here for my dad's fortune, I'm leaving. And he's like, if you think you'll get to live a life of luxury if you join the Kettle's family. And yeah, he just leaves now. And he's like, what's wrong with everyone? Yeah, like I said, can't blame him. If he, I'm pretty sure this is how he has been grown. He's been growing up, you know, always listening to other people's praises just because of their dad or someone else. These type of characters, they don't feel that they have any type of individual worth. They always think that, oh, it's because of my dad or my mom that people are giving me respect. I don't have any self-worth. I don't have any kind of worth just because of me. And that is why, you know, they're easily manipulated. These type of characters, they're easily manipulated by some other person. They'll try to pounce on this weakness, and they'll be like, oh no, like, definitely not, like, you know, like, like, you know, we see you as an individual. And they'll try to lure that person somewhere else and try to take advantage of him. Usually that's what happens. And yeah, these type of characters always fall in bad company, and somehow their lives are ruined, you know, because of that. And you know, like, that's the situation, because that's how it always goes in animes. I'm interested in seeing how this is going to go in this show. Let's wait. Anyways, he's just running away, not going, running away with his horse. And these two guys, they're drunk, and they're like so drunk that they're babbling around. And they're like, oh, here you are, young master. Like, wait, I'm coming. And they start walking over the wheat field. And he says, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're trampling the crops. But obviously they don't care. They're drunk. So, and then they're like, oh, don't be so cool. Like, you know, come with me. Takes the horse. And he's like, let's drink another round. Come with me. And just starts luring him away somewhere. And yeah, over there, Thorfinn and Einar are trying to sleep. Einar is laying there, just talking to Thorfinn, and tells how, you know, how he has gone through some crazy situations. The first one was when the first came the King of England's soldiers. They burned down every single house. He says how his dad tried to protect them and was killed. Not only that, the next time was the Danish. They came in and they killed everyone, looted. And he's like, yeah, they were beasts wearing human skin. And Thorfinn's listening to it, and Thorfinn remembers his past of, you know, his like, you know, like, father, like, you know, dying. Not only that, seeing villages being razed to ground by Ashalad and his men. And yeah, and like I said, Thorfinn has been in both sides. He has been the victim, and at the same time he has also been with Ashalad long enough that he were also involved in these type of situations, being the people who plundered. Because obviously he didn't want to do that on his own. He just had to stick around with Ashalad because he wanted his revenge. So he kept doing everything that Ashalad told him, just because like he wanted to be there and kill him in proper, like duel him properly. So yeah, and he knows everything. He knows what it feels like to have your dad dying in front of your eyes. That's what happened with Einar as well. He also knows what happened, like how it feels like when you see a village being razed to the ground and people just looting and just doing whatever they want. Einar has also been in that place. He has also been in that place, and he knows that all. And he also knows being what it is like being on the other side, being on the side which does the looting. So yeah, he understands it, everything, and he's just sitting there listening to Einar. And that's where it ended. Great episode, and we get a few introductions, and we get to see what's going on here. We get a little bit of introduction about the master, about his son. We meet a girl who I'm not exactly sure if that's his daughter. I think it's his daughter, most probably. And we also get a little bit more of Einar, a little bit more of Thorfinn, and yeah, there you go. And that is it. Great episode, and yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this goes, because obviously we can see Thorfinn has just this blank stare. He's not really feeling anything, I feel like, and he's just, I don't know, like I said, I need to actually realize what's going on, and I'm pretty sure I'll get to understand this as I watch more, because I feel like there's something going on with Thorfinn. It can be two things. One is he's actually become mature enough to not just get angry over everything. Either that, or he's lost his hope in life. My bet is he's actually lost his hope in life. That's why he's just so blank completely, and that's not okay. And if that is the case, then I don't know. I feel like if that is the case, if he's actually lost all hope in his own life, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, like, I don't care if anything happens to me, that type of attitude, if that's what he has now, I feel like Einar will be someone who will kind of, I don't know, like bring him back up or something, because Einar is this hot-blooded young man who is full of rage and full of vision for the future. And if Thorfinn has lost his vision for the future, then Einar might be the one to stand him back up and make him, I don't know, have a vision again for the future. Anyways, let's wait and see. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. This was my reaction to episode 2 of Vinland Saga season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Vinland Saga. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.